Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for joining. Let's just give it 1 or 2 minutes there and we let the room fill up and then we can get started. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Let's just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Let the room fill up just a little bit more and then we'll get started. So we had over 100 people sign up. It's 45 people in the room. Just give it another 1 or 2 minutes and we'll get started very shortly. Okay, let's get started. Díomh Corda, Fáilte is Misha Sean, is Scoláire, Tiroliacht, Saoránacht me, os Cahar Kirky. Hello everyone, thanks very much for joining us. My name is Sean Lynch. I am an independent geographer and open source developer, pioneering citizen science in Cork City. Started 2008 following the launch of the iPhone. And ahead of Ireland's EU presidency this year, I'm offering this webinar to try and rally all of the TidyTowns groups and members to broaden the message of inclusion, to create an EU presidency citizen-led deliverable for Ireland's EU presidency, right? So we have the people, we're doing the impact, the technology exists, and last year, more than 30,000 members across 950 Tidy Towns groups achieved over 1 million hours of volunteer action for the first time. So my message to the Tidy Towns groups is keep doing what you're doing. Everybody loves Tidy Towns, but don't let your impact disappear. I'm going to teach you how you can collect data and instead of uploading it to social media, uh, upload it to citizen science instead. So last year, as we mentioned, Tidy Towns volunteers achieved over 1 million hours. Tidy Towns is one of the world's longest running volunteer networks, spanning continuously in every county every year for 67 years, ongoing. This is one of the most comprehensive volunteer networks in the world, not just Europe. And I think we have a very important message to share ahead of Ireland's EU presidency. Tidy Towns is not just a community of volunteers in pockets of the country. This is a national movement that has mobilized tens of thousands of people, something where everybody is welcome to participate. It's the largest volunteer network in Ireland. Last year, there was two records set. There was the most number of Tidy Towns groups. There was 929 committees in 2025, a record year, who achieved a million hours, another record for Tidy Towns. Tidy Towns is about care and belonging in our community. Clean streets, flower planting, this benefits everyone and lifts everyone up. This is a positive message for society in a world that badly needs it. And Tidy Towns offers belonging and community, right? There is citizenship without having to pay for something. Everyone is welcome to participate. I'm getting a few raised hands there in the audience. I wonder, can everyone hear me okay? Is there a bad echo? Can I improve my sound? What's the story with the sound? Sorry, guys. Is that better? Let me try and move to headphones. Maybe that'll help. Okay, how's that? Does that sound a bit better? Much better. I'm going to answer some of those questions. Does that sound a bit better, guys? Still echo. Oh God, it's not good. Let me see what I can do here. Sound is fine for me. Does that sound better? Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. Do you want me to start again? Thanks everyone for jumping in. Sound is fine. That's fine. Let's continue. The words are on the screen. Hopefully came across okay. Tidy Towns is about inclusion for society, is the point I was trying to get across. 67 years, tens of thousands of people mobilized every year. This is a movement of belonging, of positivity that lifts everybody up. It's about hope. It's about positive outdoor real world connection in a world where people are living digital lives, where we're increasingly, our lives are dominated by screens or work or interactions, even relaxation on Netflix. We're living in an increasingly digital world. Tidy Towns is a beacon of hope in a world drowning in AI slop and disinformation online. Okay, so that's what Tidy Towns has achieved. And what I would like Tidy Towns members to consider is we have these devices. Everyone has one. We're all connected online. We need Tidy Towns members to now to go beyond doing the work. Many people are already taking photos, and we need you to start documenting the impact that you're making in society to create a good news story for society. We need you to start collecting evidence on the impact that you're making. What happened, where, and when, be it litter picking, planting, community gardening, whatever. These records create a digital story that we can quantify, that we can share, we can communicate. Not just the work being done, but that's a message to inspire other people, to let them know what's happening in their community. Open platforms like OpenLitterMap offer a living map, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So first part of this demo is this presentation, and then I'm going to give you an overview of a little bit about how OpenLitterMap works. So this is a living map. Every upload is live. Everyone can see it. You can communicate that impact in a way that social media can't. This is a measure as well of your town health. Citizen science, as we will discuss, goes beyond social media. Social media is about mostly passive consuming on timelines. Citizen science is fundamentally about empowering the citizen to express their democratic citizenship to create evidence for society, evidence that can help Tidy Towns groups apply for more grant funding, that can teach education at schools, that can help councils do their job better and shape national government policy. So this is technology with purpose. This is teaching people the role of technology in society, not as a medium of entertainment for passive consumption, but as active democratic citizenship where you get to live in the real world. It's a positive use of technology. And I think that is a message that's badly needed at the moment as we're living in a world drowning in disinformation and increasingly AI slop. And if this resonates with members, we can use this 6 month window of the presidency and create a legacy to inspire future generations. The generation that we have now, we're the world's first globally connected generation. And many people of us alive today remember some time before the internet, a peaceful, tranquil time. We have an important message to send to all future generations who are likely never going to live a life where they are fully disconnected from the internet. So we are the last surviving generation that remember that time before the internet, and we have a responsibility, I believe, to create a legacy that will inspire people to continue to live in the real world and to forget about all the noise coming through your device that wants your attention. So Tidy Towns members are doing record work every year. Groundbreaking work. Everybody loves it. It lifts everybody's spirits, but most of the impact is going undocumented. And that's my message to Tidy Towns groups is please start documenting the impact. Let's make your impact count. So this year, every 13 years, Ireland hosts the EU presidency. So for 6 months, from July until December, we have 6 months to lead Europe. And during this time, we get to chair meetings, we get to set the agenda, and Europe looks to Ireland for direction. So it starts in just 4 weeks' time, and we have only 187 days to leave the most powerful, positive Irish deliverable possible. And I believe it's the citizens, it's tidy towns who can make the biggest impact. So we've 6 months to do it. The world needs a good news story. The world is crying out for something positive on the internet. And there could be nothing more positive than Tidy Towns members documenting their impact and communicating that, not on social media. Social media collects data about people. We need to go beyond social media and embrace citizen science to start quantifying and mapping the positive impact that we're making in the world. So this is the challenge, the EU Presidency challenge that I'm putting forward to Tidy Towns members. We have 187 days from July to December this year to lead Europe in the right direction. Europe now is looking to Ireland to chair meetings, to set the agenda, and to lead. And it's our job to make the biggest, most positive impact that we can. So we live in a world now, a digital world where everyone's connected online. Billions of people have devices that are harvesting their attention. And your device is not a phone that takes a photo. These are data collection instruments that capture records. And it's fundamental that we understand the role of technology in society. These are not consumer entertainment accessories. These devices are civic engagement instruments for that can, when used safely and responsibly, quantify impact, which I believe is the true purpose of technology. I think we've been distracted for too long by powerful social media companies. Social media harvests data about people, right? You sign up, you give them all your information. They ask for pictures of you. They want to know who you're connected to. This is a human data mining operation. Citizen science is the opposite. I don't want your human networking data. We don't want photos about people. What we want is we want people to quantify the positive impact they're making in society. Social media enables people to share their opinions, and that has a role to play, not going dissing social media. It has had profound positive implications as well for society, such as unlocking the plastic pollution narrative, which was locked away for many decades. So social media can have a positive role to play in society, but it's been polluted by too many people shouting at each other and sharing their opinions. Citizen science is objective. There's no opinions. This is about people sharing facts, real world empirical observations that they're making in society. And I believe that data matters, that story matters, and that is a better role of technology to share online. So social media is about timelines. You see very small snapshot of information at one time. There's this huge narrative on social media, and we only get to see a very small part of that online. So these snapshots that you see, they tailor content to you, and you only get delivered a very small snapshot of that content. But as you'll see with OpenLitterMap, you get all the data at once in a second. So maps communicate quantitative, huge amounts of quantitative geographic data over time, which is a much more profound uh, use of data than doom scrolling on social media. So what can you actually map if you decide to take this challenge for the next few months and join us on an EU presidency delivery. You can map litter. That's what I've developed with OpenLitterMap. You can map objects like cans and bottles and cigarette butts and broken glass. You can map materials like plastic and aluminium and batteries from vapes. You can map brands. We want to know what brands are polluting your community. Is it McDonald's? Is it Starbucks? We need to involve them, which is not captured by any national official statistics. You can map other things too today with OpenLitterMap, like sticky floors or areas or floors that just need power washing. You can grab a photo of that, upload it to the platform, and I'm going to show you how you can tag it so you can share that information with the council or other volunteers who have the equipment to get jobs done. You can do a brand audit and measure and contribute information to enforce things like producer responsibility. Some of these companies, like Coca-Cola, make billions of dollars in profits probably every week, and they privatize all the gains, socialize all of the losses, and taxpayers have to foot the bill to clean up the waste produced by some of these mega corporations. So I'm asking citizen scientists to start collecting data on not just the objects, but also what brands are polluting your community. You can also map really positive things like flower planting and tree planting and fence painting and things like that, right? So I want to teach people how you can actually map this stuff, and I'll show you a bit about that as well in a minute. You can map things like before and after you arrived in an area, it needed power washing or a cleanup, and you did it, and you can get a before and after photo. You don't have to take a photo of every piece of litter if you don't want to, but it depends what story you want to tell. You can also map blocked drains and gutters. These are notoriously clogging up drains and helping not helping to alleviate flooding. So by mapping that, you can get that information to the council, get it to the roads unit or the gullies department or whoever is responsible, and try and get that blocked drain cleared in time for winter to stop flooding. You can map things like overflowing bins, bags left behind for collection, potholes, dereliction, anything. You can map whatever it is that you're interested in. So OpenLitterMap, even though it started with litter, it's going beyond litter to enable people to map anything that's important to them. So I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. Ultimately, all of this combined, this is not just about mapping litter. This is a measure of your town health. So with competitions like TidyTowns, adjudicators come to your town for a few hours, once or twice a year, and they measure the health of your town for you after all the work has been done. And I think that's served us well up to a point, but we live in a world now where there's billions of people connected online. And I believe we need to open that adjudication process to 365 days of the year and to as many people as possible who want to participate. That's how we get people away from social media. And I believe that's the real deliverable that we could leave for Ireland's EU presidency is not just the impact that we're making, but lead people away from social media and reconnect humanity with nature and our community and the real world. So join us. Let's document your impact and tell your story. If you want to learn more about how to collect good quality data and learn about the difference between social media and citizen science, I've put together a new digital skills training program at litterweek.org. In fact, we're on litterweek.org right now in this presentation. All the slides are available at litterweek.org/tidytowns. Just use the right arrow on your keyboard to go through all the slides. So if people do this and decide that collecting data is worth the challenge, the result will be not a 1 or 2 day adjudication process. The result will be a new evidence report for each TidyTown group. And all we need to do is nominate one data collector or more and invite people to start mapping the quality and health of their town. How it works is citizens contribute data. You go into the field, into your town, and you take geotagged photos. I'm going to show you how to enable your geotagging so that the location and the timestamp is saved in your data, in your photos. You add tags like piece of litter, Coca-Cola, bottle, power washing, bag of litter, whatever it is you want to tell a story about, and you upload that. We don't support videos yet, but if we get the funding, if we get Interest, the only limit is our imagination. Many platforms exist. OpenLitterMap is one platform in development here in Cork City since 2008. We enable volunteers who are interested to collect data on a vast type of litter, from objects, materials, and brands and more. We've got nearly 200 different types of objects and over 1,500 different types of brands, which has been crowdsourced by nearly 10,000 people who signed up to the platform so far. You can also add custom tags. You can type any text you want. You can map anything. You could write flower planting, tree planting, community gardening, time spent doing X work, anything. So our custom tags enable you to go beyond litter and start mapping whatever it is you want to tell a story about. So there's a live global map, which I'm going to show you in a minute. It's in 100 plus countries so far. And we've got leaderboards and data and statistics and groups and charts for all of them. We've got teams. You can create a team for your group and invite people to participate or compete by yourself. And it's entirely open source. So some platforms, like social media platforms, the code is not openly available. And what that means is we don't know what they're doing with your data behind the scenes. And you don't need to be a software engineer to appreciate the value of open source, because anyone can go to GitHub. Anyone can view all of the OpenLitterMap code. You don't have to take my word for it. Open source code is auditable. So anyone can verify that the author's claims are true or false, find bugs, participate. And a few years ago, OpenLitterMap was recognized by the UN Digital Public Goods Alliance as a digital public good. These are open source projects that accelerate the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. And I believe that citizen science transcends all 17 Sustainable Development Goals to achieve peace through science. The impact report takes all of this data, all of this evidence produced by volunteers on the work that they're doing. It's mapped every day, every hour. Anyone should be able to participate. We can produce a national one, but also per team, per individual group, per location, per county, per province, per town or village, whatever it is. And all that data is open as well, allowing students and researchers and policymakers to be able to access it. And the power of open data and open source is that everybody gets access to it. You and I have the same access to the code and the data. This democratizes information and it creates a standard that society can build on because everybody has shared equal and unrestricted access. And I believe that's the true purpose of the internet. The World Wide Web was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, and his goal was to make knowledge sharing accessible across universities. That's what I believe is the true purpose of the internet, is to enable knowledge sharing, but not across institutions. We now live in the age of the citizen, and we need to put the citizen in citizen science. Every data point uploaded by anyone interested becomes a part of Ireland's environmental record. Using this app might sound like a lot of work. I'm already doing all this volunteering work. I've just spent an hour. I want to go home and have an ice cream. I get it, but it's actually really easy. In fact, many people are already taking the photos. They're just uploading them to the wrong platform. So many people are already capturing pictures. We need to stop thinking of these as individual pictures. These are not photos, these are data records. So instead of taking photos for social media, capture data for citizen science. Take a photo, only takes a second. You can upload it later whenever you get a chance. It can be tomorrow, next week, next month. And then later, when you have time, you can do the tagging another time. So I did 2 cleanups, which I'm going to share in a minute, recently. I'll upload them now. And then over the next week or two, I'll tag them all. But I'll tag a few today just to show you a little bit how it works. So that's the first half of the demo of the webinar, was this presentation, which you can find at liverweek.org/TidyTowns. Use the right arrow to move forward on your keyboard. It's not available on mobile yet, but maybe I'll make that accessible soon. I mentioned as well briefly before I turn to OpenLitterMap, I've started a new digital skills training program. So if your school, your community group would like to learn how this all fits together, this is a 1 week, any week, 5 day challenge. There's one challenge every day. You can do it in any 5 days. It can be in 1 week or over a month. And we teach people how to go beyond social media, how to use their device to start capturing important empirical impact data, and producing a report and a presentation and being a part of their community and measuring their town health. So what we're going to do now is we're going to visit OpenLitterMap, and I'd invite people to follow along here as well at this part during the webinar. So if you visit openlittermap.com and click on the global map, all of the global data will load in a second, in a fraction of a second actually. And what you can see on the right here is we've got a live stream of new people who are signing up to the platform. So as new people join, as new teams are created, as new data points are uploaded, this live feed will expand automatically. So if someone downloads the app right now, creates an account, you'll see that a new person is joined. Let's zoom in here just a little bit and give an overview on some of the work being done. And let's use Skibbereen in TidyTowns and Skibbereen as an example. So down here in West Cork, we've got Skibbereen Tiny Towns. And I think Sandra's on the call. Hi, Sandra. And if we zoom in here, these are clusters of photos. So there's 1,700 photos taken over here, 39 photos taken over here. And if I zoom in past these clusters, at a certain zoom level, that cluster data will go away, and I'll load this raw point data. Every point here is an individual image, a geotagged photographic record taken by a member of TidyTowns who wants to quantify their impact and communicate that. This is an educational tool to encourage people to stop littering. I think it's the most effective and important and overlooked educational tool, especially as we live in a world where many people are so dependent on their screens for information. This is a very important story that needs to be told. Recently, OpenLitterMap went through a huge AI-driven transformation. So I've been developing this mostly by myself, evenings and weekends. And I did a lot of the groundwork by myself. And then recently with AI tools, I've taken all that code that was manually written and improved it significantly with different AI tools. We're now on version 5 of the platform. Um, Now, recently, since the last update, when you zoom in, all of the data is automatically analyzed. This is a precursor to the evidence report that I was talking about earlier, which still needs a lot of work, but it's an important step, I think, in the right direction. So I can click any of these points. You'll see that we've got the photo, the data record, and Sandra here at Skibbereen Tidy Towns has tagged that there's cutlery, there's plate, there's other types of litter. We can click around here. We've got a soft drinks can, Coca-Cola as well, and so on and so forth. We've got beer cans and alcohol, and we can drill into this. So that data, we've loaded 1,000 photos at a time, an average 32 photos per day, and it's mostly food related litter. So what we can do is let's take a certain day. So this is 2000, this is the 1st of May, 2019. Let's go down here and we can just look at the smoking related litter, for example, right? So you can filter down and you can see all of the smoking related litter that was picked up or not picked up. Some data as well might have been incorrectly tagged because we had some bugs earlier on in the platform. This is a few years ago, but we've probably fixed a lot of them since then. So you get the idea, right? That's the map. What I'm going to do now is in a new tab, I'm going to log into my account. You can log in with your username, that's new, or your email address. And I can't log in because there's too many people hitting the platform. So this is a new bug that we haven't seen yet. Let's see if I can try the mobile app. Probably the same problem now, so we might have to break this into two webinars. So we got stuck. This is a work in progress, right? This is not a finished product. So we've been spoiled online by social media tools that have received billions of dollars in funding. This has received zero funding. I would have loved to have done a PhD in this topic 10 years ago, but there are none. So this is something that needs considerable work. There are many bugs to be discovered and found, and your feedback here really matters. I need feedback from TidyTowns groups to know if the app is working or not, what new features you'd like to add, where the problems are, what bugs are we finding, etc., and to build this with the community. And I did that for a long time. I used to actually host meetings like this once a week, and I would code live with the community. And it was an amazing chance for people who don't code to see how it actually works under the hood. And if that's something people are interested in, I'd be quite happy to facilitate that again in the future. Um, and every week, then you come back with new ideas, new concerns, whatever it is, and we take that feedback and we onboard it into the process. I mentioned as well that it's open source. You don't need to be an engineer to appreciate open source. All you need to know is that the code is auditable by anyone. So I just made a bug fix earlier today, just before the webinar, just a couple of minutes ago. Um, Anyone can go in here and verify like all those changes that I made, right? They're small little code changes, not important to get into the details. Um, but anyone can audit that. Anyone can review that and learn from it. That's a pathway to creating um, better citizenship. These are open source public services. Most of our services, the code is not accessible. This is a mid 21st century um, open source service. Unfortunately, the login doesn't seem to be working, so the code seems to need a little bit more work. Let me try again. We're in. Okay. That was the throttling API request that probably restricted it too much during that AI refactor recently. So I'm in, right? I've got a bunch of images here. Let me pull these up. So this is from two cleanups I did recently. Um, I'm not going to upload all of these right now, but I'll give you a few examples of what the data looks like and things that you could tag. So I was at the petrol station recently, and just outside there were these crows pulling everything out of the bin. Now, obviously, I went in and I told the guy, "Look, there's crows outside pulling everything into the bin." But if you were on somewhere else in the city and there was bins just overflowing with rubbish, that's something really important that the council needs access to right away to try and get that problem fixed. So here I'm going to take my image, I'm going to drop it in here. I'm going to tag that in a minute as an overflowing bin, right? Um, Also, I did a cleanup recently around Dunn Stores in Bishopstown, near Cork City. And maybe you don't want to tag every piece of litter. That sounds like too much work. You can just tag one bag of litter right at the end. That's really important data as well. And in fact, many tidy towns groups leave bags of litter behind for collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also upload that image, right? Back on the global map, we've got live notifications coming in for those two images that were just uploaded, right? If I click one of these links, it's going to bring me directly to where that image was taken. Okay? What I've got here now, that link is a link to that upload. That is a real-time geolink that you can share right away with the council to say bags of litter have been left here or overflowing bin has been left here. This is an open source reporting service. You can get real-time access to links on a map and share it with the community, other volunteers, the guy who has the power washing unit, the roads and gullies team, whoever. So I can copy that link and I can share it with someone and they just need to paste it into the browser and you've got a real-time geolink on for free, which I think is really powerful. Let's go back to the upload. We'll tag these in a minute. I'm just going to grab another couple of images and see what else we can tag here. I'll upload all of these in a minute, but this is an example of bad data, right? There's no litter, but more importantly, there's personal identifiable information. there's a shadow of someone. And we want to get away from collecting data about people, like social media. We don't want to collect data about people. We're only interested in non-human data about litter. So I'm going to delete that image. Some people use the app directly, the mobile app. That's fine. And we can look at that as well. We've got a little bit of time. Some people as well, like me, if you collect a lot of data, I like to move them onto my laptop and upload from here because there's the mobile app and there's also the web app as well. So there's a vape. We're going to map that. Bottle, let me just, Marlboro. There we go. We'll throw that one in as well. And I'll upload all these in a minute. Look at that fucking two-wheeler thing. And Tato. And we'll do one or two more. I wanted to find the blocked gutter. There we go. Look at that. Blocked gutter needs to be mapped, sent to the council and get that fixed. So what we're going to do is we're going to send that link to the council and ask them to get that cleared before the winter comes. And as well, you can map like full bags of litter. We went over that. Okay. So what I'm going to do as I'm talking away, I'm going to upload all of them. And I'm going to go over here to my photos and start tagging all that data that I've just started uploading, right? So all that I'm uploading that in one tab. I've already uploaded that. That's fine. They're all being uploaded. So I'm going to leave them upload. You can see anyone viewing the global map now, you're going to get a live stream of notifications and you're going to see all that data coming in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tagging my data. So this is a brand new tagging interface. This is a blocked drain. So I'm just going to type in blocked drain. And here we have a new civic category, blocked drain. Still there, yes. You can change if it's picked up, if it's still there, if it's unknown. That is still a problem. There's no more other tags. So I'm going to tag that. Done. Now, if I go back to tagged, apply that, right? I can copy that link. And there's my link to the block drain, right? So I can share that link with anyone. This needs more work. This is not a finished product. Like your feedback matters here to make this easier. This is a very much a first attempt, but let's go back into our tagging. Where is it? I've moved it now recently, so I'm still learning this platform. So we've got here cigarette butts. Just one, fine. Red Bull can, right? So this is can, right? Soft drinks. So we map the object. It's been picked up. The type is an energy can. We want to add Red Bull to that as well. So this is the new tagging interface. And what we've done is we've separated categories from objects and we've added types and brands. So you tag the object is the category, right? The type is an energy drink and the material is aluminium and the brand is Red Bull. Now, in what we're doing here is we're collecting data, and I'm going to build an AI system that makes all of this super easy. So in a few months, I don't know how long, this will probably be a thing of the past. I think that we're not far off having the AI tag this for us. But in the meantime, we still have to add the tags at the moment. Okay, so they're coming in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a look. Actually, my mobile app has disappeared. That's great. No more mobile app. Just a scrappy demo. Bear with me. Hopefully that works. Give that a second. So here's a more complicated image of something that I went tagging recently. We've got food wrappers, we've got potato packets. Some people you may not want to tag everything, and that's okay, but tag as much as you can. Just give us the brands we want to know. So we've got food packaging, right? Food wrappers, one, two, three. They were picked up. And we've got Cadbury's times three. Done. What else have we got? We got Tato. So crisps, object. There's a plastic bottle. Plastic. And then we've got a bunch of random litter. Okay. So that gives you an idea just of the tagging. Sometimes it can be complicated. Two coffee cup lids. What we're doing is we're building up a picture of the impact that we've made. Let me find something else that was worth tagging. So what I'll normally do is I'll upload all of this at the moment. And then over the next week or two, if I'm on the bus or waiting for a meeting or whatever, or in the waiting room, I'll go through my mobile app, see if I can get that working. And then over time, I might do an image a day or whatever I can do, right? So here we're seeing our images now are being imported. So you can upload in one platform, and then we go start tagging through. Let's see what we got here. And again, this is not a finished product. This needs a lot of work, obviously. But I'm just a one-man team doing all of this by myself. So we've got Can on the mobile app now. And then we've got brands is Coca-Cola, materials, aluminium. And you can add custom tags too, right? So you can just type in literally anything here, right? And you can map whatever you want. So it could be sticky floors, power washing, broken glass, etc. There's a food wrapper there as well. Fine, right? I'm not going to tag all of them now, but what I'll do over the next 2 or 3 weeks is I'll go through these and I'll take my time and I'll just tag whatever I can at a time. And it's up, you don't have to take a photo of every piece of litter. It's entirely up to you what story you want to tell. But what I encourage people to do is rather than uploading pictures to social media, start capturing data and trying to quantify the positive impact that you're making in society. So I'll stop the webinar probably there, and we'll move over to Q&A. Let's see what we've got here. So if anyone has any questions in the chat, would love to hear from you. And if you want to raise your hand, you'll be invited to speak as well. Hi, Sandra and Buncrana, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? No, you can't hear me?
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, is that any better? Okay. Okay, is that any better?
I'm not hearing anything from these speakers, but
No.
we might
Okay.
activate the chat now for the next one. Um, Just moving on to the questions there. Katrina Walsh asks, have the National Tidy Towns organization indicated that participation will increase potential marks? No, not yet. This is my first engagement with them. They very kindly, I should have mentioned thank you as well at the start. It skipped my mind just with everything going on. But yeah, massive thanks to the Department of Rural Community Development in Gaeltacht for sharing the webinar with all the 950 plus Tidy Towns groups. This is my first engagement with them. So they haven't indicated yet, but hopefully they might be open to it if the members are interested in.
Sean, I'm just checking if the audio is working because some of the participants can hear me.
I mentioned that I'll show you how to geotag an image. Can you do that, please? Um, I've stopped sharing my screen. I won't in this webinar because my battery's about to die. 1 second there, actually. There we go. But when you sign into the app, there's a new onboarding steps that teach you how to set up your geotagging. There's also an email that's sent out. If you've any trouble, drop me a message and I'll walk you through it step by step. Does the app record where the photo was taken? Your device does that. So when you turn on your geotagging settings, your location will be automatically embedded in the image. How can the council be informed of overflowing bins? When you upload to the app, you get a link to each upload, and you can just copy that link and send it to them. We don't have a system yet integrated. How are suppliers notified when we tag? They're not at the moment, but that data is open and we can share the data with them. Would you consider linking with the See It, Say It app? Yes. In fact, the tender for that went out recently, but they haven't yet come up with a better roadmap for the future. Um, I would say that OpenLitterMap probably does all of that and more, but use whatever app speaks to you. But I would like the access to the code and the data would be an important point for me moving forward. Will this project continue beyond Ireland's EU membership? Yes. My work started in 2008 when the iPhone came out. It's only now being accelerated thanks to support from AI tools, and it'll most definitely continue after Ireland's EU presidency, not the membership actually. Well, it seems like other people can hear the other speakers, but I can't. Let me try and.
Can you hear me, Sean? No worries.
I can hear you now, Sandra. We seem to be having some difficulty with the webinar. Maybe we'll try again in the
Okay.
future. But I can hear you now. How are you? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, great. Listen, I just wanted to say to everybody, and when I was in the years I lived in Skibbereen, collected an awful lot of data, and it was really, really important. And got the local school on board. But what I always really liked was that at times when I didn't have time, and I was busy, I might have had the dogs, the litter picker, a bag. It wasn't possible to, do a whole lot. But you could spot where the litter is. You could photograph it before dogs are off doing something else. but there's a setting which is really, really cool so that you could say, I didn't pick it up. So you could set it that way. So sometimes it can be difficult on sunny days to kind of like see the litter and to take a photograph of it. So there's just great flexibility in terms of the settings. And I'm delighted to hear all about the planting and the flowers, and that will be big for us here in Ballincollig because we're just about to be judged for the Communities in Bloom International Challenge. And I think, you know what, we can get some, league stuff going. I think with other groups, and it's great to see groups signing up now. And yeah, we can see who climbs up that leaderboard first. So just, welcome to everybody. And it's great that all the work that Sean has done over the years, and amazing, absolutely, from when I started with OpenLitterMap. So I just wanted to share my experience. I'm not sure if there's anybody else here from TidyTowns group, but yeah, and I'm looking forward to setting up a group for my team here at Ballincollig TidyTowns, and yeah, we'll all get tagging. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much, Sandra. We've also got Buncrana Tidy Towns. They've got their hand raised. Would love, guys, if you could jump in for a sec. If not, there's a few other important comments as well that I'd like to address. Are there any security concerns that we should be aware of? Yes, like you're sharing your location data, and that is inherently sensitive. That's something that we teach people at Litter Week is what this device is actually capable of, and how to do that in a very safe and responsible way. That's something that, by the way, social media does not do. They do not teach you how to use the app. They do not teach you how to protect your privacy online and how to safeguard your well-being and your mental health. So although location data is inherently sensitive, there is a way to do it safely and responsibly. And that's what we're trying to do with Litter Week is teach people how to do this because we've given these devices now to billions of people, but we have not yet actually taught people what these devices actually are. And doing things like measuring flower planting, it's an inspiring positive message for society, which I believe is badly needed at the moment. How is the project funded? And is there any potential cost to users in the future? Great question. Well, at the moment, I'm funding this largely by myself. Uh, Amazon Web Services have been very generous with credits to take the cost away from me, but there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of volunteer software engineering work going into this at the moment. Um, I'd like to keep this as free and open for everybody as possible, but I'm trying to use Litter Week then to cover the costs to make it financially sustainable. Um, Next question from James asks, it's open data, but that data can be ignored by the council, so nothing happens. Um, Debatable. Um, Open data creates a shared platform of access for everybody. And right now, tools like the National Litter Monitoring System, this is the official clipboard analysis implemented by all 31 local authorities every year, uh, does not include citizens, does not include academics, and I believe that it should incorporate open data. And only by capturing that data and telling the council that this is something that members of Tidy Towns groups want, can we open up those pathways which are currently not available. I do have a meeting actually with Cork County Council next week, who I first met with in 2019. I don't think it landed as well then, but now with the EU presidency um, around the corner next month, I'm hoping that they're more receptive to citizen science. They actually wrote to me asking me for a meeting, so that was a nice change. How might you integrate your data with the council? Well, our data is open, but I would like to onboard, let's say, the guy with the power washer, the roads and gullies team. So if you were to upload something, that specific contractor or employee or volunteer would automatically get a message. And so that's on my horizon as well if they're interested. Maybe we can pilot that. I might bring that up with Cork County Council in the next week. Do you need to take a photo through the app or just with your phone camera? You can do both actually. When you download the mobile app, you can use the camera through the app, or you can just take pictures using your normal camera app, which is what I do, and then upload them afterwards. Do councils recognize the data? Not yet, but I believe if people want this, the councils might respond. So bottom up, hopefully we'll get the councils interested. Will you send a link to the app to Balbrigg and TidyTowns? I would love to. I will do that after the webinar. Do we need to tag their brands? No, you don't. It's entirely up to you what story you want to tell. So if you want to tag litter, you can tag litter. If you want to tag biodiversity, you can tag biodiversity. If you want to tag something else, it's entirely up to you. Some people like to capture lots of data points and lots of photos, and then tag it over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Some people only like to take one photo of a bag at the end of a cleanup. It's entirely up to you what story you want to tell. Would you advise having an administrator monitor before uploading? Yes. This is something that I teach at Litter Week, and I did it briefly there as I was about to upload my photos. I would review the photos first, delete ones that contain personal identifiable information, and then upload the ones that I'm safer with. So that's something that we definitely teach at the Litter Week training. Am I right in saying that we can generate a report from our data? Yes, in fact, you can also download the raw data for yourself, for your team, and you can use that to build your own reports. Um, but adding more sophisticated reports is definitely something on my roadmap. The roadmap seems to be getting longer than I can get things done. Um, but that would certainly it's on my horizon, and I'd love to be able to have that as a deliverable during the presidency. Fairly valid criticism here, saying like taking a lot of photos, it seems like a waste of time, and that's fine. If data collection is not for you, that's okay. My personal opinion is that this data is the only way to stop people from littering. We need to open up citizen science to be included as in the education system, and get people using their technology for real world engagement. So if data collection is not for you, I respect that. Um, but it's my opinion that the maps and the digital inclusion and the skills training is incredibly important to empower young people because we live in a world that's drowning in digital misinformation and AI slop, and real world engagement has never been more important. Will there be a problem with the iPhone? I used the app years ago, but I came across problems with my iPhone, asks Catherine. This is an independently developed open source project. So as we've seen just there are bugs, but getting that feedback from members is incredibly important to identify and start to address some of those bugs. So your concerns are valid and legitimate and super helpful to make the experience better for everybody. Um, do we log all the items? It's up to you. I mean, some people will pick up 10 bits of litter and then tag something that they're interested in. It's entirely up to you what story you want to tell. Personally, I collect as much data as possible. I'll upload it all at once, and then over the next 2 or 3 weeks, instead of playing Candy Crush or doom scrolling, I'll open my app and tag the litter. I find that to be a better use of my time. Thank you all for the supportive comments. Um, we have an Irish version of the app. So we did actually, it was available in 7 or 8 languages. Agus beg sé fáil as Gaeilge arís. Tom ag Ferbert seachtain na brúscar. Agus beg sé sin ar fáil as Gaeilge. It's not available yet. A lot of work needs to be done. It's English only at the moment, but 100% we will make it as Gaeilge and for other languages as well. Love the app and the website. Just set up a team. Thank you so much. Love the option of positive actions. Can we also submit marine litter and dog poo? Yes, you can. Yes, and yes. You can submit the poo in the bags, the poo on the floor, whatever it is you want a story to tell about. And you can also tag beach litter, marine litter, microplastics. You can tag anything from a fragment, a microplastic, up to illegal dumping and more. This webinar was probably didn't go as well as I expected, to be honest. But if people are interested in learning more, I would love to set up more of these meetings. I can code live, I can onboard your feedback, allow people to share their screen, bring more people together. And I think that's what Tidy Towns is all about, is inclusion and opportunity, and there's something here for everybody. Going to go through the last couple of questions and we'll wrap it up there, but we're getting close to time. Um, Will you be reaching out to both primary and secondary schools? So Litter Week is aimed at schools. It's aimed primarily at the what age do people or young people get their phones now? It's probably younger than sixth class, but I think it's a fantastic project for end of school. So as you're moving from primary school into your teenage years, there's a need for training to overcome the harms of technology. But primarily it's aimed at probably the TY cohort who probably have a device for a couple of years already, and as they're moving into adolescence, um, uh, teach them how to use their device safely and responsibly. But I think that education should probably start towards the end of sixth class, and I think it'd be a fantastic end of school project. We've got three schools lined up to take the challenge, one primary school and two secondary schools who want TY and second years to do it. So really, there's something here for everybody. But yeah, great question. But it's not for young children. I think we should keep devices away from people for as long as possible. But when the time comes and young people want their own device, it's like learning to drive a car, right? If you want to put a car on the road, there's a theory test, there's rules of the road that everyone have to adhere to make everyone's experience safer. We don't have anything like this yet for the internet. We're giving these devices to people with no context, no training, no plan, no safety, no direction. And that's what we're trying to do is put guardrails and teach people what these devices actually are. These are not phones, they're supercomputers, and they don't just take pictures, they actually capture data records. And trying to understand what data is incredibly important to safeguard the mental health and protection and well-being of young people. Will IBAL have access to the data? IBAL is the Irish Businesses Against Litter, and yes, the data is accessible to everybody. The data is entirely open. You and I have shared, equal, and unrestricted access to the data. You don't need my permission to download the data, and the data is there for everybody. This is an exciting initiative. Looking forward to exploring it further. Also to record positives such as planting and biodiversity enhancements is fantastic. When is Litter Week? This is a great question. Litter Week is any week. So most weeks are 1 week, Climate Week, Science Week, Earth Day, and then 51 weeks or something else. You can do the Litter Week challenge any week that suits you. It's not ready yet. It's nearly there. I need another couple of weeks to plug away at it, but hopefully by September, Litter Week will be available for anyone to take. So starting September, unless there's pilot groups that might be interested in a pilot, if that's something that speaks to you, please reach out to me. And there's 52 litter weeks in the year. You could be able to start it on a Monday or a Tuesday and repeat it again the following week. And over time, collect as much data as you can throughout a year. But I think everyone should have an opportunity to do the intervention whenever it suits them. But rather than expecting everyone to turn up at the same time and location, I don't think that's realistic. I think people need more flexibility to participate when and where it suits them. Could you have an algorithm that automatically blurs out any personal information? Yes, that's a fantastic idea. It's something that it's on my to-do list for a very long time. That's another wonderful suggestion. we've got 97 questions after coming in here, right? There's a huge amount of interest. This is a field of research and innovation that's largely unexplored. Like my platform that I've developed, it works just about, but it needs significant improvement. So the breadth and diversity of these questions just goes to show that there's a lot to consider here. There's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of great questions being asked, and there's a lot of questions and answers to be discovered. So there's so many more questions. Let's get through just a few more and we'll wrap it up then. But this just gives me a sense that maybe people want another webinar in a few days. Maybe we can invite people to participate in a meeting. I'd love to hear more from other people about what you do and you don't like about the app. How can we make this better? All that feedback, positive and negative, it's all super helpful to help create a better experience for everybody. Thank you all for the very supportive comments. Um, that's fantastic. I'm going to wrap it up there. We're just 5 minutes over time, so we managed to get there in the end. A few teething problems as expected. We've got one more person who wants to jump up and say something. We've got Pauline Hanley. Pauline, do you have any closing comments before we wrap up this webinar? I'll take that as maybe not this time. But I just want to thank everybody, Gurum Mila Mahagwib Galer, for being here at the webinar. This is my first time having an opportunity to pitch to Tidy Towns. In hindsight, maybe I should have done this a long time ago. But it's been a challenging but very positive experience. Um, Live webinars with demos and bugs and all the teething problems that come with these kind of things. It's rarely a smooth journey. But I just want to thank everyone for giving me an hour of your Tuesday evening, and hopefully this will be shared online and made available to all the other groups as well. Many others weren't able to make it today and were very interested. And if this is something people want to learn more about and participate more in and have a say, I would love to host more of these. And it would mean a lot to me to be able to empower an amazing group of volunteers like Tidy Towns and help you tell your story and communicate that to the world, and create an incredible citizen-led delivery for Ireland's EU presidency. So, Sinné, go raibh míle maith agaibh, agus slán go fóin.